host, Alexander Stone. So please join me for a closer look and listen. Okay, so I'd like to thank you for joining me for a closer look and listen, and I hope you're feeling relaxed and ready to join me for a very special reveal today. I've been excited to show you this gemstone. So it's a 5-carat amethyst in a very old, dusty envelope, but it holds a very, very special gemstone. But it's not just any gemstone. This is a beautiful amethyst, and let me tell you, there is a story how I got my hands on this beauty. So let's reveal the gemstone. We won't be needing that anymore. Let me just use my gem tool. Picks them up really well. And there we have it. Can you see that? Wow. It is a beautiful stone. Now, I was actually in Brazil doing a little bit of exploring, just like you do when you're a gem collector. You've probably heard stories like this similar. Just browsing, having gone from vendor to vendor, and you really wouldn't believe what you find in these markets. You find some really stunning pieces of gemstone. Anyway, so I'm browsing and I stumble across a vendor who was trying to sell me what he was describing as tanzanite. It was actually this stone. Now, don't get me wrong, tanzanite is beautiful and it's one of my favourite stones, but something about this stone didn't feel quite right. I could see through its deep purple hue, and I knew it just wasn't tanzanite. It was an amethyst, a stonker of a piece of amethyst, it has to be said. Now, the key differences between tanzanite and amethyst isn't too tricky. If you know what you're looking for, tanzanite will have a vibrant blue or a violet blue colour, whereas amethyst, while is purple too, has much more even, almost a reddish purple tone. And of course, amethyst is a lot more common, and it's found throughout the world, especially in places like Brazil. And as you may know, tanzanite comes from one specific region in Tanzania. It's a much rarer gem, so the likelihood that this had to be amethyst. So after I explained the difference to the vendor, he looked a little bit surprised and admitted it was indeed an amethyst, which was slightly dishonest of him. But I can see why he did it. Tanzanite was going through a bit of a... It was very popular at the time, so I think a lot of... To the untrained eye, a lot of people buying gemstones might have been easily misled and were paying over the odds for amethyst. Anyway, after a bit of bargaining, I ended up with this incredible stone here, and I've got another stone coming up which is a large citrine. I actually purchased that one from the vendor next door to him, but I'll show you that one later on in an upcoming video, so please stay tuned for that. But as you can see, this is it's a 5-carat amethyst gemstone. It is bare cut. Now, the professional who's cut this gemstone, it's amazing, the quality, it's the symmetry and the polish is beautiful. Now, why gentlemen don't get to wear flamboyant pieces, big gemstones like this in jewellery, you can surely appreciate the loose gemstone on its own. Now, after a little bit of research, we've got some quite interesting facts on amethyst. Now, some of these I already knew, and some of them I didn't, but I did know that the largest amethyst ever found was a staggering 13,000 kilograms, and this was actually mined in Uruguay. Now, over the centuries, amethyst was actually considered as valuable as diamonds at one point. You can see why. It's just a beautiful stone. I'm so pleased I'm bringing these out of storage and putting them in a better display, so I can actually see them instead of them being in these brown envelopes. But it gets its colour from the presence of iron in there, which gives it its colour. Now, this is a well-known fact about amethyst. It was actually believed by the ancient Greeks that it would prevent intoxication, so they would put chunks of amethyst in alcoholic drinks, goblets, to prevent you from getting drunk. And Cleopatra was known to favour amethyst jewellery as well as emeralds. She loved her emeralds as well. Now, if you've got a birthday coming up in February, then this is your birthstone. And amethyst is actually used by Tibetan monks also in their prayer beads. amethyst pieces in them as well. So if you're ever in London, you can go and visit the Crown Jewels. And another fact that I was aware of, it was said that Saint Valentine himself wore an amethyst ring with an image of Cupid on it. So it has a lot of history. It's just amazing. I really could go on about amethyst forever. But we need to get it packaged up or catalogued better. And you could hear the weight of that. It's a heavy piece. It's always a misconception where, I'm just going to give it a polish, where people see a gemstone and immediately think it's fragile. But the stones, just opaque stones, well, not opaque, translucent stones where you can see through them. So I'm just going to get a new display. Case. I've said it before, but these are really, really good. They're not cheap, they're quite expensive for how little they are. But they're perfect for protecting your gemstone. I often think about my loose stone collection and think I'm going to get a stone one day and it's going to be too big to fit in here. Pretty close here, but there we have it. You might not be able to see that because it's quite dark. Maybe it would be best to get a cushion. Although I was thinking a cushion in white, but it's just the lights in here which makes it look darker. But as you can see, that looks good. I hope you can see that. But it's been a bit of a surprising day for me. I was in town and I bumped into an old school friend. Now, the reason why it was a total surprise to me was I thought he'd moved to Australia, which he had a few years ago, but it turns out he's had to move back to the UK to be closer to his parents as they're in ill health. So he's come back and they needed the additional support. So he had to move back from the beautiful country that is Australia, which is a shame, as he was really settled there, but he's had to move his whole family back. So going back to my friend, we had a great catch up, reminiscing about our school days and all the mischief we used to get up to, and on occasion couldn't stop laughing when we remembered those times where you would skip class or played pranks on your teachers, which I would never recommend. Stay in school and respectful to your teachers. But it's really funny how you can pick up right where you left off with some people, even after years apart. But yes, it was a wonderful chat catching up. But we've exchanged contact details again and promised to stay in touch. Right, so we need to print out a label. So we'll bring the label maker into shot. So let me know what you think of this amethyst stone in the comments. Do any of you own any amethyst? And do you have any stories about, or any interesting facts? I can never claim to know everything about gemstones, so I'm always interested to learn new facts about them, because they are truly fascinating. Right, so I just need to grab my mobile phone and we need to find the app. I always forget the name of this. It's a Nimbot, but it's a thermal printer. So if you like labeling everything, then this is for you. Okay, so I'm just going to edit this one. So it's a 5. Carat. And I just need to put this gemstone, which is an amethyst. And the cut is pear cut. So I'd be interested to know if any of you have a gemstone collection. If you did, you could start your own YouTube channel and show them. So it was 2012. We'll put that in. So this should print out any moment. Right, so done. Print. There we go. Aha. I always think it hasn't printed because it comes out upside down. just tear this off. And I'll just turn this machine off. I'm just going to move it away because it has a beep. Since I've just hit the camera. But since I've purchased this, I haven't had to charge it. So, you know what's going to happen. I'll be in the middle of recording a video and it'll stop working. But there's the label. So we're going to stick that on. Just there, like that, in the middle. So there I have my gemstone in its own little unique gemstone holder, protected with some polythene bag with the label on there. Now I'm sure you can appreciate that looks a lot better. I think a thumbs up if you think that looks better. But there we have it. So in the next video coming up, I've got a sapphire and diamond reveal and gift wrap. So stay tuned for that, as it is an absolute, I can't wait to bring you that gemstone, that particular design. It's a wash with diamonds and a very high quality sapphire, blue sapphire. But there we have it. That looks good. So before we have to sadly wrap things up, please don't forget to check out some of my other videos where we have lots of different gemstones. We've got gemstones on there. This from Russian diopside, emerald, topaz, sapphires, rubies, and I think yes, there's a diamond. I've got a diamond ring on there as well, which was a valuation, I seem to remember. But yeah, please check out my other videos. I'm sure you'll enjoy the beauty of the gemstones and the stories behind them. But if you've enjoyed this one, then could I ask you to please give me a thumbs up? I would really appreciate that. And if you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell. Now, I believe YouTube will tell you when I've uploaded a new video, so I wouldn't want you to miss out on any videos, especially if you are into the world of gemstones as much as I am. So I've been your host, Alexander Stone, and you have been one of my treasured viewers. So until the next video, please stay sparkling.